US has downplayed the idea that long-range strikes into Russia could be a game-changer in the Ukraine conflict, despite ongoing appeals from President Volodymyr Zelensky for enhanced air defense capabilities.
I don't believe what is stopping the United States. I don't believe one specific capability will be decisive, and I stand by that comment.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin dismissed the notion that allowing Ukraine to strike deep into Russian territory would be a decisive factor in the conflict. He noted that Russia has already adapted by moving key assets out of the range of US-supplied ATACMS missiles.
I think Ukraine has a pretty significant capability of its own to address targets that are well beyond the range of ATACMS or even Storm Shadow, for that matter.
Zelensky, who has repeatedly urged the West to lift restrictions on long-range weapons, continues to press for increased support as Ukraine battles Russian forces. During a meeting of Ukraine's allies at Ramstein US Air Base, Zelensky pressed Western nations to provide more long-range missiles and lift restrictions on their use against targets such as Russian airfields.
Now we hear that your long-range policy has not changed, but we see changes in the ATACMS, Army Tactical Missile Systems, a US system, and Storm Shadows, UK missiles, and Scalps, French missiles, a shortage of missiles and cooperation. And this applies even to our territory, which is occupied by Russia, including Crimea. We think it is wrong that there are such steps. We need to have this long-range capability not only on the occupied territory of Ukraine, but also on the Russian territory, yes, so that Russia is motivated to seek peace.
Austin assured that Washington and its allies would maintain robust support for Ukraine amid the Russian invasion, unveiling an additional $250 million in US security assistance.
I think for the foreseeable future, we're going to make sure that we remain focused on helping them do those things that are enable them to be effective in defending their sovereign territory. So I'm pleased to announce that President Biden has authorized a new security assistance package for Ukraine worth $250 million. That will provide Ukraine with additional air defense, armored vehicles, anti-tank weapons, and munitions for rocket systems and artillery.
In addition to US support, Germany has pledged to provide 12 self-propelled howitzers, and Canada will send surplus small air-to-surface rockets and warheads in the coming months. These contributions add to the international support for Ukraine as the conflict intensifies.
Again, I think
we will be delivering 12 Type 2000 self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine, 6 of them this year and a further 6 next year. Total volume 150 million euros.
Zelensky's appearance at the Ramstein meeting coincides with a notable Ukrainian offensive into Russia's Kursk region. Ukrainian forces have reportedly gained control of over 1,300 square kilometers in Kursk, including 100 settlements. Despite this progress, Moscow has intensified its attacks on Ukrainian cities with missiles and drones.
Today, we control an area of more than 1,300 square kilometers in the Kursk region, and this includes 100 settlements.
Zelensky reiterated his stance that striking targets within Russia is crucial to applying pressure and pushing for peace. He also challenged Western fears of escalating the conflict, stating, "Russia's attempts to draw red lines simply do not work." As the US presidential election approaches, with Vice President Kamala Harris pledging continued support for Ukraine and Republican candidate Donald Trump suggesting a different approach, the future of US assistance remains uncertain. Despite ongoing international support, Zelensky highlighted the critical need for additional air defense systems to counter Russia's continued missile and drone attacks.